Okay, right, well I'm thinking of putting in a probably another cape in there just to try the ultimate simplest method I can come up with. It's been a while since I did these. I've even got bookworm or something going through there, so yeah, that one there. I think we'll just, I don't know if we can actually, is it glued on or is it, yeah, I think it's glued on, so I think we're going to so I'm thinking of having a cape there and a Seth from hopefully John Bignano. As I said, you know, I've never asked him really anything in my life before, so let's get a nice screenshot. So I've never asked him for anything really in my life before. I said 2 Seths or a packet of banana, and well, he spouts all these aphorisms, you know, strike while the iron is hot and all this sort of stuff. And I'm thinking, well, you know, how quickly can he get me some Seths, you know? He's supposed to be the master of the aphorism and runs a bloody company that does all this stuff. I mean, if I was his boss, I'd say, you know, go and walk through that door. And he goes, no, walk through that door. Can you walk through that door? Actually through the door? No, not the doorway, the door. And he says, yeah. No, I can't. And he says, well, that's good. Now bugger off, get out of here, because if he can't do this, you know, it's all talk, isn't it, really? You know, I've asked him for 2 things. You know, I've asked him for 2 cephalos. I don't, you know, just the standard stuff, shop bought, basically. I mean, if he sends him some personal collection stuff, that's fine. Or a packet of banana seeds. I mean, for my 57th birthday, you know. I've known the chap for 30 years, you know. How difficult is that? So, yeah, anyway, so that's the idea, is put a cape in there, maybe something else over there, maybe a banana, I don't know, and maybe hopefully one of John's back to normal focus, I think, yeah, and just water it in first before we do that, see if it sinks in. Yeah, it seems to be sinking. The same with the other one, actually, I think. So it's slightly mounded at the moment, so if it sinks down, it should be eventually end up being level. But we might learn something between that 50-50 mix of poly and perlo, which seems to be quite adequate, as they, on first glance and years of experience. I think it's actually going to be spot on. And I think that's been what's been holding you back, fellas. You know, you have all these lovely, wonderfully looking, almost natural looking plants, but they're just small. And when people pick up these pots, you find they're also doing these funny things with these squat pots, you know. They're sort of pots to scale sort of thing, you know. And I think, no, this is what you want, fellas. This is the future. Very simple. Basically, the charcoal fixes nitrogen from the atmosphere, because if you take the limit on charcoal, it's basically ash, and that also does it, basically. But, you know, this is slightly different. And of course, we're the most bushfire-prone country on the planet with the most CP, so there you go, tick a box for that. And basically, also, it contains, I would assume from my experiments and stuff, super molybdate, and there are simple ways of making these super phosphates, super borates, and if you've done a lot of work, you suddenly the penny drops and you think, aha, there's an alternative route of making these things very quickly, very simply. So, you know, maybe down the track sometime, if someone wants some, I'll make a small sample, and you don't need much. You know, half a gram basically, half a gram will basically do, it will do your bucket fine. You know, half a gram is not much, you know, of super molybdate will do your bucket fine, and it'll make such a difference to your plants, I think. So, anyway, I think I'll set up the tripod now, and I've done it earlier, and yeah, well this is a bit of an eye-opener down here. Look at that one down there. What the heck is going on with that, fellas? You know, is this what's been holding us back all this years? It's the bloody sand, all this peat and sand business, you know, and then going from peat to bloody coir, which is not as good as peat, and basically the major holdback has been the sand. I mean, how come that's not going off? How come that's not putrefacting, you know? Maybe it is going to eventually, but geez, if you want your plants to grow quickly, that's going to certainly hold it back. Anyway, so as I said, I think there's a problem with some of this so-called horticultural charcoal that's made out of bark chip. you don't really want to do. If you read up about chalk bark, most of these trees and stuff, they dump the things they don't want into their bark, basically. That's how they get rid of them. So, you know, no wonder. But we'll see how we go. But I think that also needs a bit of a water. And it's also pooling in there. Okay, and with this one here, I've learned, and the new thing is, do that until it pools, sort of thing, which is basically 5. And if you do 2 lots of 5, pool it a second time, that's 10, and basically that's when it starts coming out the base of the bucket. So basically 1 litre will actually start it coming out of the bottom of, that's with the fine perlite though, so it may be different with the larger perlite sort of thing. And what the heck is that? Looks like we've got some sort of contaminant or something. Let's go to spot colour. Some sort of sandy contaminant or something that's come out of the charcoal. Oh well, hopefully it'll get washed through. Oh, I think it's just a sand, fellas. Oh, hopefully, I mean, the system's got to be able to, the system's got to work for that as well. It's got to solve for that, so, you know. Anyway, maybe a close-up on the charcoal for the Facebook page.